Hello guys, this is Jitin Ashtekar from Galpin of Cybersecurity branch. Today I'm going to talk about a topic from chemistry, that is corrosion. Corrosion is a natural process where materials deteriorate due to chemical reactions with their environment. It can weaken structures and damage metals over time, often influenced by factors like moisture, oxygen, and certain chemicals. Various methods exist to prevent or minimize corrosion, like coatings, inhibitors, or using corrosion resistant materials. Corrosion is nothing but the transformation of a metal into unwanted compounds when they come in contact with elements such as air and water and other chemicals. Coming to factors affecting corrosion, some of the most important factors affecting corrosion are exposure of the metal to air containing gases like oxides of carbon and oxides of sulfur, that is carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, and sulfur dioxide, etc. Exposure of metals to moisture, especially salt water, which increases the rate of reaction. The rate of corrosion of a metal is directly proportional to the salinity of the water which is present in the water which comes in contact with the metal. Presence of impurities like salt, for example NaCl. NaCl is commonly known as table salt. The presence of salt in water increases the rate of corrosion, as we learned in the previous point. Temperature. An increase in temperature increases corrosion. The rate of the rate of corrosion is directly proportional to the temperature of the surroundings of a metal. Nature of the first layer formed. Some oxides like alumina yield to O3, form an insoluble protecting layer that can prevent further corrosion. Others like rust easily crumble and expose the rest of the metal. Presence of acid in the atmosphere. Acids can easily accelerate the process of corrosion. The rate of corrosion in this case also is the same, directly proportional to the acidity of the water or any other substance of the metals. Okay, coming, as you can see in this picture, how corrosion looks like. The corrosion completely changes the appearance of a metal, like the surface appearance, loss of surface reflectivity, it increases the roughness of the surface, and also it exposes the underlying fibers. Ways to overcome corrosion. Galvanization. Galvanized metal is coated with a thin layer of zinc to protect it against corrosion. The zinc oxidizes when it is exposed to air, creating a protective layer that protects the metal from corroding. Painting. Rusting of iron can be easily prevented by coating the surface with paint which protects iron from air and moisture. Greasing and or oiling. When some grease or oil is applied to the surface of an iron object, then air and moisture cannot come in contact with it, and hence rusting or corrosion is prevented. Now, coming to advantages of corrosion. Corrosion resistant layer. A layer of oxide forms on the corrosion resistant surface, prevents corrosion of the inner metal. Coating of zinc or aluminium over taps or any other metal substances. Zinc sacrificial anodes. These are employed as a corrosion preventative method for other metals. Coating of zinc over utensils. Galvanic corrosion. When two different types of metals are in contact in an electrolyte, the more active metal tends to corrode and the less active one becomes the sacrificial corrosion. Coating of iron with zinc. Okay, now other advantages of corrosion are corrosion resistant layer. A layer of oxide forms on the surface, the result preventing corrosion of the inner metal. Coating of zinc, like example coating of zinc or aluminium over the taps and other metal objects. Come to corrosion has an advantage. Corrosion of aluminium is useful. Corrosion of aluminium occurs when the metal is exposed to oxygen according to the following reaction. 4 aluminium plus 3 times of oxygen or O2 gives rise to 2 times of aluminium oxide and aluminium trioxide. Thus, a protective layer of aluminium oxide is formed on the surface of the metal, which renders the metal passive and prevents its further corrosion of the inner metal. Coming to disadvantages of corrosion. Metal loss from the surface. A metal's objects physical appearance changes, as we saw in the previous picture, that how the roughness it increases the roughness of the surface, and it also decreases the reflectivity and the loss of the surface, and also mainly it changes the color of the metals chemical characteristics vary. Meanwhile, the effectiveness of metallic machinery is deteriorating. Iron turns into reddish brown when exposed to the atmosphere because of the rust formation. And also some other advantages of corrosion are: a large amount of money is to be wasted on prevention of corrosion every year. And also the last one is metal things have a shorter lifespan. Okay, thank you guys. That's